Good morning, everybody. It's just before daylight Sunday morning. We're getting ready to get the battery start to charge this morning. As soon as the sun's up, I'm going to hook up that jump cable, whatever you call it. It used to go upstairs to another set of batteries that were like these lead acid, but half that size. Those go down on the floor about as much as you see. The concrete and the insulation came up when I had it poured. They were already on concrete, and this section over here was dirt. Let me see if I can't make this. This section over here was dirt, and then the guy, the dad and the son. Well, that just cut out this sucks. The dad and the son poured the concrete, and they just poured around what I already had and just framed it out. And when I get done, I'll just patch that in, is what I'm trying to get at. It's not a big thing. I don't need it for anything else, is what I'm trying to get at. What I did want to say is some of the pitfalls, downfalls of being off-grid, the reality of being off-grid. Your batteries are a big choice. I can't really get it all into one photo or whatever. Your batteries are a big choice. When you're using lead acid, they're considerably cheaper to start with. And you got to use with what you can afford. I mean, you just can't be, not everybody wins the lottery. I mean, it's just like that. And that's what I did here. I mean, I was in debt from a divorce. Came out, I couldn't be there. I mean, it was one of them. Came out and I'm off grid 100%. The closest pole is like 8 miles, I think, or something like that. Somebody said. And I'm only just saying what somebody said. Can't even tell. Maybe I've never drove on that side of the road, so I can't really honestly tell you how far it is. But the reality is your batteries don't give everything back. That's what I'm going to say. The hidden charges that they don't tell you about is your inverter equipment or the controller equipment up there. It'll say like 97 or 93 or whatever the percentages are, but in reality, double that almost is what it comes down to. Like the in and out of the battery for lead acid, going in, you're losing 15%, coming out, you're losing 15%. When you start adding it all up is what I'm trying to get at. And I'm not knocking on lead acid. They do fine. These are... I turned this on in December 4th, 2019. I mean, some people can tell you the day they got married or divorced, or I can't tell you the day I got divorced. I couldn't even tell you the year. But I can tell you the year that I turned off that damned old generator and flipped this on for the first time and never turned it back on again. And exactly how much I saved. Because without even the cost of the generator involved, and they cost about $1,000 a pop. They're getting down now, but back in the day they were kind of high for a good one, is what I'm trying to say. And not commercial, just a good, not commercial one was about $1,000. But now they're, I think, $700-800. I've seen them. And they're fairly decent. Yeah, I mean, would I trust my life in Alaska with them? No. Oh, no. If you're going to go up there and do that kind of stuff, they make generators like Yamaha, Honda. These are professional generators. Generac and different ones that have, industrial motors in them. Don't risk your life on some Wang Chung, and I'm not knocking nothing Chinese, but some off-brand beat name is what I'm trying to get at. Don't do that. That's like the inverters and stuff. It is, if you're in a place where you can control the conditions, like I did. I bought 2 different kinds. They're for 2 different reasons. But they all run off the hokey little system. This system over here is not going to be hokey. That'll be like the world's biggest jackery. There'll be a DC to DC charger on the bottom because I can take that right with me, like camping, just roll it up in the van and away I go, or up in a trailer and away I go. But it'll have the inverter up on top. It'll have the charge controller. A new one's coming for that voltage for the lithium, and it goes up in voltage for these batteries. So that's why I picked it. And it can't hurt nothing. I mean, the battery was asking for 100 amp charging in and that's a lot. I mean, 100 amp for lead acid, you just fried them. You just killed them is what I'm trying to get at. That's way overcharged. But but for these it's not, is what I'm trying to get at. Kind of shocking. And you get what you pay for. I mean, it's just like having lithium tool batteries or whatever. If you could put that back in the day of lead acid, the battery would be too big for you to drag, and you couldn't carry it if you even, and it wouldn't last for 5 seconds, is what I'm trying to get at. The same thing goes with these. There's more usable capacity in this 500 amp battery than this 1200 amp string when you consider all the losses that go involved. Like 5 times the amount of capacity is that whole string. It's limited to the hour rate is what it's come down to. And that whole string at the 100-hour rate is only about 1,300 watt that it can hold and keep doing with like little or no like effect on the battery. I mean, not like torturing them or nothing like that, because they can charge and discharge faster and slower, but they'll get like wore real fast. And these are in good shape. It's the rooster is rowing. The rooster's crowing. The thing is saying 12.4. So I mean 12.6 is fully charged, and that's with all the draws. And I run 2 inverters and the MPPT controller up there. And mine ain't like one of the new ones that are like they run efficient or whatever. Mine is not like that. But it was good for what I had. I mean, that's at the time. And like I said, I turned this all off in December 4th of 2019. And in that time, not even including the cost of buying the generators again and again, because they do wear out, I saved roughly $14,000 in fuel being off grid. And you're going to buy fuel regardless. And now will this work in Alaska where y'all don't get a lot of direct sunlight? Not as much unless you use bifacial panels and set the panels up so they reflect backwards off of whatever the snow that falls. Because the panels that I have outside, I'm getting like 6 volts even through the night just on starlight. With a good panel and like on a concrete slab that's, bright white concrete, that can bounce the light backwards from the bottom. And that's the plan for next year. The solar panels are out front, and there's 10 of them. And I looked and found a company that I'm going to pick up 10 new panels, and we're going to put them on a new rack out back, get all that wired back in, and then take the other ones down. And the whole old system is going to go out for the chickens. That's the idea. It'll be like a shed and the power source for all that. Even if I wanted to start plant anything like that. The birds really don't cost money to heat. They're about 100 watts per bird when they give off heat is what I'm trying to get at. So you don't got to worry about that. A good insulated space, they do fairly well. As long as it's not, open up to the air. They do fairly well through the night. And then but that'll be for to run on the other beyond the plastic, is I got an incubator, the brooders, and so I perpetuate the chicken thing here. I just like the birds. I would perpetuate them all, like guineas and pheasants and the whole bit. I'm sure the hawks and the coyotes would enjoy a different diet. That's what you lose them to out here. That's the reality and the truth. Back to some of this stuff. The stuff you need to watch out for is what's coming in this panel up here. Oh, come on, you can do it. Get up there. Okay. What's coming in this panel here is high voltage DC. And that's actually how bright it is. I couldn't get it bright in here with my phone, so I don't know what happened there. But that's actually how bright it is in here. It was messing up before, and I couldn't make it quit. But the controller panel here that's 160, like 67, 170 something volts. It depends on the sunlight. But if you grab a hold of that, you will never let go. You won't let go of anything over 50 volts DC. It will be the end of you. I mean, that's just like big time AC killing you or whatever, but you just can't let go of DC. Once you grab it, it makes your muscles clamp down. You can't get rid of it. Don't mess with high voltage DC. What comes out of this one is low voltage DC, so it's, it might tingle, but it's not going to kill you or nothing like that. What comes out of those two is high voltage AC. It's not going to kill you unless you're in a bathtub, so you're good. That's just 120, and they pop like that. This one comes from Harbor Freight, and bless its heart, this was all dirt for years down here. The dust is horrendous here, and the thing has worked flawlessly. I can't knock on it at all. The other one I bought at Tractor Supply. It's a 1500. It works flawlessly. Can't knock it at all. So the new one, I'm not sure. I think it's made in Sweden or something like that. I'm not buying it yet. I'm going to get the solar panels and the new inverter all at once when it comes. That'll be my next big investment. I can only buy so much and then like pay it off, and then buy so much and pay it off, kind of thing. But it'll be a big improvement over those. I can't even explain the difference there. I mean, it's just a huge, big improvement. Not that they're bad, and not, those aren't like golf cart batteries. Those are the big, industrial, like floor sweeper battery, or the big one. I mean, these things are big, tall. They're like I said, they're half down in that hole. They're big, and but they're only 2 volt. You got to have all 6 of them. They go all the way back to the wall. You got to have all 6 of them to make 12 volt. But big difference is what I'm trying to get at. And then the usable capacity is about 5 times as much. This is 5 times more than that. And then the next one on top will even make it better. Well, what else was I going to say? I'll bump you up a little bit more. Is, like I said, this is Sunday morning. Is the chargers are coming. I'm going to start today. I'm going to just hook this wire up, the charge cables up to the battery, and then after I get it hooked up, I'll just run the computer on that. I can set that and just keep running the voltage up. It won't hurt these for a day to run them hot or to charge them. It's not that much more. This string charges at 14.2, which is high for lead acid. I mean, like for your car, it'll burn it up. It charges that high, but that's why it dies in like 3 years. And these the same way. But they've lasted a long time. I mean, they've lasted more than the 3 years. Nothing. And if I cleaned them up and got rid of the dirt in the trace loss or whatever they call that from the dirt, they would be right back to like full charge. And again, like I said, they've already carried the house through the night. That's the freezer, everything, and they're only down 2. I don't know if I can get over there on that. Sorry about that, y'all. There you go. It's at 12.4, and that's after all night. You can't complain about a battery if they can run your whole house and not lose any more than that. But this will be a big improvement, so I can weld. I'll be able to run like bigger compressors. That one over there it runs everything in my life just fine up until now. This will run my life from here on better. And it's just the money that I've basically saved over the last 5 years. So not like a big loss is what everybody says. How much does it cost you? Well, actually, it saved me because you got to buy power anyways. Even if you're like at $200 a month, you're going to pay $12,000 over that same time frame. I was talking to one of my kids I was talking to somebody. I thought it was one of my daughter. But it's going to save you that much anyways, is what I'm trying to get at. And for me being off grid, it saved me about 14 or a little bit more without the cost of the generator. So it saved me a lot. And I realize that is what I'm trying to get at. So this will just be like another savings down the line. Even with the new panels and the new inverter, the upgrades of solar have come along so far, that bifacial stuff, that's incredible. And it's like 28% efficient, where my panels out here are not. I bought them used. I bought what I could, and I bought 10 used panels, and they were about $100 a piece. These are 400 watt. They're bigger than those. They have more amperage than those, and they're brand stinking new monocrystal bifacial panels for $128. Come on. That's like almost for free when it comes to power. If you're not, after like these hurricanes that went through and all that, is it like, can you have it out there and have that as your only thing and nowhere, whatever else? No, if it's out there and it gets smashed up in a hurricane, you're going to have to replace stuff. Okay, but it's not going to get everything if your house is like underground, or if you're hurricane proof, you can make a fairly hurricane proof solar system just as well. Protected on the sides, for the, the wind and all that. And if you know the hurricane is coming, unbolt the solar cells the day before, take them inside in a room and stack them back up like a couple pallets, Yeah, it's a lot of work, but it saves your panels, is what I'm saying. The system is resilient. I'm just saying, could I pull 10 panels? Yeah, even crippled in a wheelchair. I mean, if I knew a hurricane was coming, if I knew utter destruction. The one thing that did happen to us here is we got hit with that coronal mass thing this last summer. I don't remember. It was the day we were pouring the concrete because they blew the transformers and they had to wait until they could put the other one back in line. Whatever that date was, I made a video of this concrete. So, but it was that day we got hit with that thing, and I didn't notice it at first, but it zapped the power of the power panels too. Or it seemed so, is what I'm trying to get at. So there's a lot of stuff that can mess them up. Are there benefits or whatever? Yeah, I see it that way. Maybe not for you. Maybe you're not, thinking you want to do that. Hey, that's up to you. But for those that are going off grid or want to be off grid, yeah, I could do that. I mean, I could see that. Because even if you're pulling a small truck or a van or anything like that, when this is all done, that's enough power for a few days, unless you're running air conditioning. And that will run 240 air conditioning at 3,500 watts a leg. So not, through the night, but however long, 7,000 watt, the battery will run it, is what I'm trying to get at. And no, I'm not going to do all them kind of tests and weird stuff. I have no interest. That's why I live in Colorado. I am not into ass crack weather. I did Arkansas my entire life. I drove truck for about 20 years. I realized that driving cross country, there was other places than the ass crack of hell. And that's exactly what the whole Arkansas, that area, Mississippi, that whole thing, it is, anytime it's 100 and something degrees and 100% humidity, oh my word, people, live somewhere else. That's just, there's other places to live. I'm sorry, but whew, I enjoy where I live now, and I couldn't imagine going back, is what I'm trying to get at. I do miss my kids. I would love to be with my grandkids like every day, but not to that end. I don't, yeah. and not being mean. I'm just being realistic. Being in a wheelchair, that's not real. Is what I'm trying to get at. Is just the pressure sores and everything like that. When you can't get away from it, you can't torture yourself. You can't do that either. And I tried, is what I'm trying to say. But you can't do it. So, okay, back on to something off that note, right? But we're going to start this battery in the morning. They only send it with like 30% charge, and it won't like kick down my system by hooking it up. But we'll get it up to 14.6 by the end of the afternoon. And then it'll be standing on its own, and then I can hook all the other stuff on, and the other battery will come next Thursday. And the other battery will come next Thursday, and I'll get it all put together. And by next weekend, this should be the primary power source for my house. I'll give you all an update again. All right, talk to you then. Bye.